Jon Stanko, Kevin Bartnett here, the BS Report, WICR. It's 8:45. We got 15 minutes left, and let's talk some baseball. The World Series begins tomorrow at 8:07. The St. Louis Cardinals go to Fenway to battle the Boston Red Sox.
Cardinals take game one. Sorry, Stanko.
We are already okay. Give us your reason why as to why the Cardinals take game one.
No, I think it's going to be a very good series. I believe that the Cardinals got in the series. They have a little bit more of a rest, which I always thought was a disadvantage in baseball. When you have a longer rest, because the baseball guys are just playing every day, having only one day off, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I think the Cardinals actually do take game one because you have Adam Wainwright on the mound.
It's true. He's absolutely phenomenal.
I would take Wainwright in this game over Lester, and Wainwright's been phenomenal this season and throughout the postseason. So, I like Wainwright in this matchup. I believe they said Lackey's going game two.
Yes.
Lackey's a grinder. I will give him that. He hasn't lived up to the contract that he signed, but
this postseason he's lived up to the contract.
He's a grinder though, and I respect the heck out of him. I would assume that I don't know who's going game two. Waka. Who's a stud.
Yeah, he's pitched what? I think 13 and a half scoreless innings so far this postseason or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I think it might be even more than that.
See, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals jump out to a 2-0 lead, but I think that it would be a split because, it's hard to win in Fenway.
It's
hard if they take two in Fenway, they're winning the series in St. Louis.
Yeah.
The series is not leaving St. Louis, honestly. Because the Cardinals are just that good.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this series, it's not often you actually get the two best teams from both league in the World Series, and that's what we have now.
We do.
They have the exact same regular season record, 97 and 65. They were the best team in the best division in each league, and it's not often you get that, and that's why I'm really excited because this is it's an even matchup.
I want to ask you something, by the way. I want to say 3 words, by the way. See what your thoughts on this. I'm like, you mad, Albert?
Oh, Albert Pujols?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's making a ton of money in Los Angeles.
I'd rather win, though.
I mean, well, yeah, of course.
Especially with the team that came up with him. So
exactly.
I do think the Cardinals take game one. I mean, Waka's I thought actually pitched a little bit better than Lackey in this postseason.
That's the thing, though. The thing is that the Cardinals have great starting pitching. They do. I'm not going to deny that fact. But the Tigers have had better starting pitching than the Cardinals. And the Red Sox were still able to muster out wins against them, against Anibal Sanchez, Max Scherzer, and Justin Verlander. We were still able to muster out wins against that. That's why I'm not terribly worried about the pitching.
Well, I think once you got to Detroit's bullpen, it got a little bit easier for the Red Sox.
Well, yes, obviously.
Game 2, that was Max Scherzer.
The greatest day of my life.
Max Scherzer had nothing to do with that loss. He did his job in that game. But I think once series gets to St. Louis, the Red Sox get a little bit of an advantage then. You got Clay Buchholz in Game 3 against Joe Kelly. Clay Buchholz was 12-1 this year.
But he has not pitched well in the postseason. He hasn't gone past 6 innings. In the 6th inning, he always hits that mental block. And he didn't pitch for, I think it was 60 straight days. He was on 60-day DL, and I think he doesn't have the stamina to pitch far into games.
That's why I think, though, that I do think that him going Game 3 is fine, though, because he's getting a long break now. So
yeah, yes.
Going to Game 3, I think that's a good game for him to pitch. You need to take one. I think you really have to take at least one. If you take 2, then I could see a series maybe not coming back to Boston. But if the Sox are going to win it, for God's sakes, let them win the World Series in Boston.
We haven't done it yet.
If it's going to happen,
gonna be crazy.
Let them win it in Boston if they're going to win. So.
My sister is planning on going to Fenway Thursday night to just see the atmosphere at Fenway for a World Series game, and I am incredibly jealous because I can't imagine what it's like down there.
Once the series gets to St. Louis, though, I would take the Red Sox though, because Game 3 you got Buchholz over Joe Kelly. I mean, I don't really know a lot about Kelly, but just on the surface alone, I'd take Buchholz. And Jake Peavy over Lance Lynn. I mean, Lance Lynn's a rookie, I believe.
Yeah, but Jake Peavy did not pitch well against Detroit.
No, he did not, but this is a World Series now where everyone steps their game up. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I would know better than anybody from the St. Louis Cardinals who beat my Mets in 06, when the Mets were far and away the better team in the regular season, but St. Louis, like Jeff Weaver and Jeff Suppan stepped up for them, so.
I mean, listen, this is going to be an incredibly even series. This is the best 2 teams in baseball, and if you go by position, even like the position battles of who has an advantage at each position is a challenge to pick the winner. I think the only clear advantage for each team is the Red Sox have a better advantage in center field, Jacoby Ellsbury over John Jay. I think everyone agrees with that. And I think at catcher, St. Louis has the massive advantage with Yadier Molina. That's the only distinct advantages I see each team really having.
I mean, People normally would take Pedroia over Matt Carpenter if you were saying that before this year.
But if you look at the regular
had an
season,
MVP caliber year.
If you look at the regular season, Matt Carpenter played phenomenal, but he's batting below 200 in the postseason.
So,
but it's the World Series, it's a
postseason.
fresh slate, so you can't look too far into the postseason.
Keep in mind, this is the guys who won it all 2 years ago, and were within a game of going back last year.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, if I were you, I'd be a little bit worried about Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran is a machine in the postseason.
Yeah.
But I answer you with this: we have our own machine in the postseason. That's David Ortiz.
David Ortiz, yes.
I say we, like I'm on
St.
the
Louis
team.
though
I'm on
also
Boston.
has a machine in David Freese, even though he hasn't done what he's done. But he had that magic 2 years ago. David Freese. They don't win that World Series without David Freese, but.
Listen, another
people are known for Boston fans, but St. Louis is just as rowdy.
Oh, St. Louis and Boston, also two phenomenal baseball towns.
And maybe the two best in America.
They might be the two best baseball teams in America.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that at all. Both, when you go to that stadium, you feel that crowd. You go at Busch Stadium with rallying the white towels, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then Fenway's Fenway.
And I always got, even though he's not pitching this postseason due to injury, they got Jason Mott. Iona Alum.
Jason Nillo, that's
he's out for the postseason, I believe.
Yeah, he was out for the year. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a rough go. But I mean, listen, I'm incredibly excited. Anyone who knows me, anyone who knows me, during this week and a half span in which these games are happening, we got Wednesday night, we got Thursday night, we got then Saturday. They're all night games. God help you if you're texting me or talking to me during the game's on.
I texted you congratulating your team. Obviously.
I appreciate that.
I was very civil, that. Even though I picked Detroit to win it all.
I appreciate that. But can I tell you a story? That home run with Shane Victorino, that grand slam.
I hate Victorino. From my Philly years. So
my buddy Steven Colzo was in the room with me. He was staying over because we had work the next morning, and he was watching the game, and I'm watching the game intently, and I'm nervous. Johnny Gomes hits the leadoff double. I thought it was gone.
Bomb.
I thought it was gone, and I jumped up. I was gonna go hug Steve. I jumped off my bed. I was like, Steve, and he's like, it's off the wall, and I was like, no. And then I go back on my bed, and I'm sulking. It's 0-2 count of Victorino, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna squander this. We're gonna squander it. And then a hanging breaking ball just gone.
Who did he hit it off of? Because I missed it.
He was a former Yankee startup. Oh my
Phil
god.
Koch?
No, started with a V. Oh, it's gonna bother me.
Oh man,
I'm gonna look it up.
I have a question. Since when does Victorino only bat righty? By the way,
he has had a hamstring injury the entire year, which hinders his left-handed batting. And he tried batting left-handed once, against in the Detroit series, and he got out and didn't do anything. And now he's officially gonna bat righty for the remainder of the season. He hasn't batted lefty due to injury.
Wow,
it's too much pressure on his leg.
Maybe he should just stick to righty. It seems to be working out too well. You know, even though Victorino, I obviously don't like him, obviously, from his Philly years. I thought he was a pain in the you-know-what, and I thought he was a wise guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very well-respected man by his teammates, so I could say. And every team he's usually on, it seems like they're winners.
That's the thing. He puts in the effort.
Yeah.
Non-stop, all the time. But one thing we do have to mention is that the Tigers, with their loss in ALCS, Jim Leland is stepping down.
That's sad. I love Jim Leland.
I love Jim Leland as well. It was Jose Alvarez, I believe, that was pitching to Shane Victorino.
Jose Alvarez, that's what I don't remember him being on the Yankees.
Did not start with a V. Did not start. Oh no, excuse me. Jose Veras. That's who it is. Jose Veras.
Jose Veras.
Jose Veras.
Okay.
He was pitching to Shane Victorino. But yes, Jim Leland is gone. An old school coach.
Maybe the last one.
I'm sad to see him go just because I like his personality and I like his no nonsense when he goes to the mound, or when he went to the mound. He was like, "You're out of the game. You have no choice when I come to the mound."
Who do you see replacing Leland in Detroit?
I have no idea.
I think it's going to be Dusty Baker.
You think Dusty Baker's going to go to Detroit?
He was just recently fired. Good manager.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the best available guy out there. I mean, or unless Don Mattingly.
Yeah, unless Don Mattingly. What was that report on the Dodgers?
They fired his bench coach.
Yeah.
I do not know his name, but they did fire his bench coach. So.
I mean, I don't know why you'd fire the bench coach when the team went to the NLCS, unless there's something internally going on that we just don't know.
Right. I do not know. I mean, it seems like it's just blowing up right now, though, with Mattingly, which I think Dodgers should hire him back, because he's not going to the Yankees anytime soon.
Oh, no.
Not going to the Yankees with Girardi, so there for a while.
I mean, Jim Leland gone, but the Red Sox are in the World Series, so it's okay.
What's your actual prediction, Stank?
I have Red Sox winning in 7.
You have Red Sox in 7? I have St. Louis in 6.
You have St. Louis in 6.
I have St. Louis in 6 because something tells me that they're going to be up by 2 games in the series at one point. And they're really hard to come back. The St. Louis Cardinals...
Well, when they're up 3-1 in a series, they have a tendency of losing.
They lost once this year to Dodgers, and then they blew it last year.
They have a tendency
I
of
think it's
losing
going to
when
be
they're
St.
up
Louis
3-1.
in 6. Something tells me, I don't know why. It's just about this team, honestly. Like, they're just not easy to play in the playoffs.
No, they're not. And listen, I would not be surprised to see St. Louis win. This is an evenly matched series.
And because I think that they just, in baseball, what people forget matters, I think, is experience.
Mhm.
They've been there before. They're not going to be intimidated by the spotlight.
Mhm.
Some of these Red Sox guys have not been there before.
Yeah, I mean, I worry about Xander Bogaerts, a rookie. He played phenomenal in the ALCS with the at-bats he had against the big pitchers, drawing that huge walk against Scherzer.
Yeah. But even guys like Lackey, who hasn't been there since his rookie year in 2002.
I'm not worried about Lackey.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly,
why I like St. Louis though in the playoffs? It's just because when you think you've got them, they just come right back at you.
well, that's the thing. They have the World Series magic.
When you think that you got them, they just go right back. Like last year, down 6-0 against Washington in Game 5, they come back.
Yeah, where'd that
and then
come from?
Daniel Descalso happens to be the hero in that game of all people. So
I mean, they have the World Series touch.
it's
You
the
remember the World Series
most
against the
unexpected
Rangers.
guy, like David Freese. Most unexpected guys will just come up huge for them.
I mean, I'm really, really excited for this. And I mean, the way I see it is that if David Ortiz wins another World Series,
Hall of Fame?
I mean, I think so. I think it's then he's in. And he cements himself as forever a Boston legend.
He's my favorite Boston athlete of all time. I'll tell you that
He is
now.
he's already a legend, and he might have a statue if he wins another World Series. If he gets another walk-off in the World Series, I mean, go nuts.
You know he had the emotional attachment to the city when...
This is.
With that quote, we won't say it, obviously.
Did you hear the quote after the ALCS, though?
What did he say?
Aaron Andrews handed him the mic, and he's like, David Ortiz, say a couple things to your fans. And he literally, this is that quote, he says, this is our bleepin' city. He said bleepin' instead of the other word, just to bring it back. I mean, David Ortiz is awesome.
I love Big Papi.
Also, Koji Uehara winning the ALCS
See, that's the thing is,
MVP.
another thing about Koji Uehara, he's been lights out. But the Cardinals may be the only team that can make him look vulnerable. Like make him
is that?
vulnerable. They just happen. They're just always that team. It seems like St. Louis.
Listen. Also, St. Louis has a good bullpen
Just
too. They're not Detroit.
Don't be shocked though if Uehara blows a save in this World Series.
I will be shocked.
Don't be shocked.
I will be shocked.
And I love
Boston
Koji
ERA
Uehara is like my favorite closer.
The
He's
Boston
awesome.
ERA is .84 this postseason. .84.
I will say though, I wouldn't be shocked if Uehara doesn't blow a save because he's been lights out. But don't be shocked if St. Louis ties the game up in the ninth.
Uehara just throws strike after strike after strike, and
It's gonna be fun. I'll say that it's gonna be fun. And hopefully, this is a little bit of a ratings boost for MLB.
Listen, they got the two of the best baseball cities in America. I think it's definitely gonna be a rating boost for the MLB.
Whenever you get the Red Sox in, it'll be good. So
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's all the time we got here on the BS Report today from WICR. I want to thank you everyone for listening on Ustream or watching on Ustream and listening on Live 365. We'll be back next week.
Next week
We'll be talking about the World Series, which is happening. It might be over by then.
it might. You know, what? It absolutely might.
That actually might be Game 7. We might not be here next Tuesday.
Oh, I would understand your fanhood.
We might not be here next Tuesday if that's Game 7. I just want you all to know
I just
that.
had the schedule. Hold on, let me pull it back up.
I really think it'd be next Tuesday's Game 7. In which case we would come in here and put the game live on the air and just listen, and you could hear me freaking out about everything that's happening.
I don't want to hear that, honestly. Okay, here we go. Matchup. Hold on. Game 7 will be, if necessary, October 31st. That is next Thursday.
That's next Thursday. Okay, but it still might be a clinching game.
It might be so.
It might be a clinching game. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Who
Exactly.
knows what's going to happen? But we'll be back at some point. Jon Stanko, Kevin Bartnett. I want to thank everyone for listening, and go Red Sox in the World Series. Woo!
All right. No comment.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.